ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So we were looking into the third chapter, verses what verses we looked into last class? Yes. सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापति अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम् येष वोष्टुष्टकामधुक्। देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वा परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ। इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः तैर्दत्तान् प्रदायेभ्यः यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः। यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वगं पापाः ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात्। What are these verses meaning? So really the whole thing is yagyarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah. So he gives Bhagavan Krishna the definition of what is karma yoga here. Yagyarthat karmanah. Anyatra, other than whatever is done for the sake of yajna means for the sake of Ishvara. Other than that, karma is a bandhan. It's a binding. Everything will bind. And therefore, how we saw everything, how karma is to be performed. Tadartham karma kaunteya. For the sake of yajna, you do the karma. Yajna for the sake of Ishvara. Ishvarartham karma kara. And how to do it? Mukta sangaha san. Mukta sangaha san samachara. To being free from all kinds of attachments, the demanding desires, all those things, mukta sangha, karma phala asakti, karma asakti, both asaktis. So karma phala asakti, what is the karma phala asakti? More equal, less opposite. 4 results. You have to be free from that. And karma sakti is what? All your ragadveshas. Neutralization of ragadveshas, act according to dharma. So these two aspects, then only karma is for Ishvara. And therefore he says the whole this set of verses are talking about the Vedic ritual, so to say, about the yajna. So here, how the creator says that you have to, by this karma, by this yajna, anena prasavishyadvam, let it be, with this you grow, because let it be kamadhenu for you. Esha vostushta kamadhuk. So it will be fulfilling all your desires. Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapati. Prajapati, after creating praja, all the subjects, saha yajna, along with the yajna, he is created the creation with yajna. Therefore, there is a method in with which you are supposed to be performing yajna. Because yajna is give and take, and the whole ecology is explained by this verses that you invoke the devas and devas will bless you. So devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsyata. You will gain the ultimate good. And those who are not able to do ishtan bhogani wo deva dasyante yajna bhavita. So these devas will bless you with whatever you are desiring. If you are doing yajna, if you are doing karma yoga, attitude you have behind the karma, those devas will bless you. But if apradayebhya, if whatever is given, you are not sharing your bounties and you are not having any sense of gratitude, then what will happen? Then you will be termed as a thief. Yo bhunte stena eva sa. When you enjoy the goods, when you enjoy the blessings only for yourself, not sharing, and that is what we saw. The 5 yajnas were there. Manushya yajna, Deva yajna, Bhuta yajna, Pitra yajna, Rishi yajna. 5 yajnas have to be performed. So this yajna is 5 yajnas is our contribution, our recognition, our gratitude towards the whole and our harmony with the whole of the creation. So you have to be in harmony with all the living beings, bhutas. You will have to be in harmony with all the human beings, whoever is around you, whoever you can help. You have to be in recognition with the pitras, the people, ancestors who have passed away, and therefore you have to recognize that there is where you have to also one day go. And Rishi Yagya, the teachers in your life, you have to recognize, you have to give back, you have to thank, you have to be grateful. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So Yagya is one big thank you to all. And then, because what happens is, why is to done Yagya, Yagya Shishtashina Santa Muchyante Sarva Kilbishayi. Sarva Kilbishayi Sarva Papayi Muchyante. With all the papas, you will be freed from. Muchyante literally means freed from, released from. How? When you really offer the food what you are eating on the plate, on the dining table, and then you offer to the Bhagavan, just a gesture, that becomes prasada. So that is what is said here, Yagya Shishta Ashina. So Yagya Shishta, Yagya is when you have already offered, that has become Yagya. And Yagya Shishta is whatever is left over because you have already offered to the Bhagavan. And that what is remaining, that you take. So Yagya Shishtashina Santa Muchyante, that will release you from all your papas. And those who don't do that, this simple act, this simple gratefulness, this simple recognition that all what you are enjoying is given by some forces which you don't acknowledge. And that is why what will happen? Then you are eating the papas only. Te tu agam papaha. They are really, they are papaha, te papaha, agam bhunjate. They are only these papas, papa karmas, papa karmana, they eat sin only. And they, who, because they are only pachanti atma karanat. They are only cooking for themselves only. They are only eating for themselves. They are not sharing anything in life. They are not grateful. They are not showing their gratitude. All that was said. Anybody can add up the points. So much was said in the last 2 classes, beginning from Yagya Arthat Karmanonyatra. Sharda? Are you ready? Are you not able to speak?
Yes, yes. I just wanted one line I wanted to specifically speak about, which is that if you uh, are with dharma and follow dharma, and just like how the sun, water, fire, air, all of them do their respective jobs, you also offer them and enjoy them as gifts from Ishvara, then these become like, including all the non-living things also, because you see Ishvara and you understand that Ishvara is a part of all of them. So they all become Chetana Vastu, or things which have sentient beings basically. So that is the kind of perception with which, so if you view elements with that perception, where everything has its importance and everything is a living thing, then you also live as somebody who is going to be released from all impurities. But if you continue to live like you're going to cook and eat for yourself, consume all these elements for yourself, grab them and treat them as these inert objects which are just meant for your enjoyment, then you are eating papa, is what is said, which means basically you are just
Agam,
consuming
agam, papaha agam bhunjate. Agam,
agam bhunjate.
sin, eating sin. Papaha is, these people are papa karmas.
True. So
Yes.
basically, I think that about explains what we are studying right now. That everything you do, we were saying that even from the air you breathe to the food you eat to when you sleep. I mean, for everything, if you are able to understand that each of these elements around you are in unison and they have to all act in harmony for this whole ecological, ecology is a beautiful word, a modern word used in an ancient uh, context. I'm trying to say that all of this is one, and if you view it as such, you are also in harmony, and you are then likely to get released from all impurities in your life.
Yes, treating all these as sentient, conscious, all these entities as Anu writes, Anu. So that is what all we saw in very elaborately. Ria,
Um, yeah, like, as Shraddha ji mentioned, that understanding that Ishvara is the effective and material cause of everything. Anything that ever exists is the manifestation of him. All the cosmic forces, all the beings, everything is everything is the manifestation of Lord. Understanding that and looking at the world from that view and giving offering and having that acknowledgement in yourself and propitiating all the cosmic forces, everything helps you, release from all the small sins and small papas that you might have accumulated because of the survival that you have to take. And all of this really requires a lot of understanding and sensitivity and free will. And this is what Veda help us to accumulate the sensitivity and understanding and maturity of seeing everything as Ishvara, because nothing is ever beyond him. Everything is his manifestation.
yes, nice, very good. Rajiv,
Shardaji and Riya has said everything, Samjay. I just wanted to add that when we say that when we talk about the yajna, it is basically a karma. Or karma it can be interpreted as a karma also. So when you offer all your karmas to Ishvara, considering him to be the karma daksha and karma, then that in that yajna, whatever you get is the result that you get is the prasada. So it can be seen in this way also that whatever you offer your oblations to in this yajna, which is a karma yoga, as all that you do in your life, and this is basically offering to the Lord, and what you get in the result thereafter of the karam phal that you get, you consider the prasada. So it's a Ishwararpana and Ishwar prasada buddhi also. And in this way, you will get rid of your impurities, mani, your antakaran will become Shuddha. But if you don't do it, then you will incur papa because you will be working under your raga and dvesha, and then you will do things that will be against the cosmic ecology, and so you will be creating papas for yourself. So this is what it means
पानी
that
पीने के लिए वहां
anyone who
पड़ा है, मैं चला रही हूँ
propitiates.
तो पी यार।
Anu, your mic is on. Now, yeah.
So if you propitiate devas and you offer them prasada in terms of your offer them your effort in yajna, then that what you get from them it becomes a prasada, and then you eat punya, and the papa, I said that one who cooks for himself and doesn't offer it to Ishvara is eating papa. And sarva kilpashya muchante basically means that all your impurities will be gone, and that will be over a practice of the karma yoga only, and thereafter you'll be released from them once you get the knowledge. And Swamiji, as Sharda beautifully said that Chetana Vastu, Swamiji explained it in a beautiful way that it's just like a dreamer who is dreaming of a dreaming in which you can see the mountains and you can see the sun and all the elements of the nature, and you consider as jada. And but if you see from dreamer's point of view, the dream and the dreamer is one only. And this world is a dream of Ishvara, but it's a Chetan Vastu. So when you see it as a Chetan Vastu, and all elements of this Prakriti, of this cosmos becomes, the smaller components become Devas, and the whole Prakriti becomes the Ishvaras. So as every thing that is there is seen as a sentient being having a consciousness, have a Chetan Vastu, and it represents Ishvara only. That is the highest propitiation that can be offered to Ishvara or Devas, recognizing them as Devas, not as insentient or Jada Vastus.
Anybody else wants to add any point?
The yajnas and pujas, whatever we offer to the God, thanking Him for whatever He's providing and giving us, and all those things, in fact, this adrashta or accrued,
Adrishtaphala, yeah.
yeah, that will help us in the long run, and it will not leave you rather, what I can say.
Yeah,
It will
Adrishta is
definitely
the
give a
Punya.
benefit.
Adrishta means here Punya or Papa. So it will be accrued to your account, Adrishtaphala. So unseen results of any action in such spirit of yajna when it is done. So whatever, one is the seen result and one is the unseen result. Unseen result is called as Adrishta, which will take you, it will be very good for your growth. And that is how you will grow. That is what it was said. Yes.
Swamiji,
Got yeah.
another aspect of it, as Vandana ji had said the last time, that life survives on life. In this cosmic ecology, some kind of insight is always there in the food chains. We always knowingly, unknowingly kill a lot of things because its coexistence is not possible all the time. So all that you kill will accrue you papas, and so as to get nivarana from them, you have to propitiate deva so that all these small mistakes that you make, they are forgiven,
Yeah,
and that's also
even in
way of
everyday
making it.
cooking also you do so much of this thing. Fire cooking used to be there, so you burn small insects and the wood, and you cannot, avoid it. So therefore, all these sandhya, all these kind of rituals, propitiation and acknowledging all that is also meant for that. Yes. Gautam ji?
I think most of the points have already been covered, but just to add that if we compare the hierarchy of a kingdom with a kingdom of the Ishwar, that like the all the devatas are driving the strength from the Ishwar, or we can call them Ishwar also. The same way that in kingdom also all the ministers or governors, they are getting the strength from the king only, means they are the power of attorney holder. In the same way, suppose, and the each devatas has been assigned a different task. Like for I, Agni is there. In the sorry, speech, Agni is there. I, sun is there. For Vayu, that breathing is there. Ashwani Devata, ear is there. So different gods have been given the
Ashwani Devta
uh,
is for smell, and Dig Devtas are for
Big
ears.
data, yes.
Big data
Yeah,
for you.
yes, sorry. So, so means everybody has been assigned. So means whatever we are getting, actually we are getting the free, or we are getting the blessing from all the devata. And if we don't propitiate them, then definitely we are incurring a sin, sort of papa. So in order to neutralize that this papa, we have to uh, give something in back, or we have to recognize them. We have to have this some sort of and gratitude. Similarly, in this society, if each and every person is doing in the same way, then definitely the society may run in the terms of dharma. Otherwise, there will be a trouble in the society.
And Swamiji, we should not think that all people are doing. Swamiji have written it clearly that others are doing. Why should we do this? So it doesn't mean that all are doing and we are not doing. They are getting their falaj and we are going to get our part only. It doesn't mean that all are doing. Then why we should do it? Rain will come, or the sun
Yeah,
will.
you're referring to the story now, which Swamiji
Yeah,
says
that
in the
milk,
last verse.
yeah,
Milk.
milk.
It
That
will come.
everybody was putting a.
But I can put it here itself also, since you have touched upon it.
Mhm.
So king was wanting to check
That
how
whether
dharmic
that was,
is his subject, Praja.
yeah.
So he asked, the minister said, okay, I'll show you the real thing. And everybody was asked to
To put
fill
the
a
milk in a
fill a kua with the
with a
milk.
milk. But
Minister
everybody
said
at the
announced, and
end,
then they went to check up. What is it? So there was not a
there was
drop
no
of
milk,
milk,
not a
not a
drop.
drop. It
Uh,
was to pure water.
Because
Why?
if everybody thinks that that others are doing, then why should we do? Then there will be no propitiation, no rain, no nothing will be there. All ecology in the ecosystem will be destroyed, I think, if
Yes.
we are not doing our part. That's
And
it.
Swamiji, when we talk about chakra, cosmic chakra, we also can talk about, as you said, that that chakra in the manifested world. Since Varna and water system was there, we had a gratitude for every service that we got. But now everything service is paid by money, but still if we maintain the sensitivity of a society, we have to have gratitude for all the people who serve us. That is the way to maintain a stable society and recognize people who are following a course of dharma. Because in a society which follows dharma, my keeping my values within dharma become easier. So we need to have a gratitude for each other also. Whosoever is working towards maintaining this society, I mean, in an ethical way, are running the system also. So it should be the same way as we propitiate devas. We should have this appreciation for people who serve us.
सर्वजीत अभी आप ही रह गए हो, बाकी तो सब बोल लिए. माइक बंद है आपका.
Chapter 3 is generally about Karma Yoga and why it is obligatory for all of us to do his required role. And do his required role in society without attachment and with control on his senses. For his liberation, otherwise it will lead to bondage. And also why he must perform in prayer and gratitude rituals.
Yeah, very nice. One sentence, everything covered. Ah. This is called a pressy kind of. Very nice.
Thank you.
So everybody, Meenu's turn, na? I told you, you have to summarize in 2 sentences. Okay, Vandana.
Swamiji, 2 sentences only?
No, anything. I just
No,
thought.
nothing. I don't have much because everything has been said by all the points have been taken care. I just want to say that yes, life is giving and give and take. So until and unless you give, what nothing is free. You have to pay for everything. So whatever you take, you have to give back. And until and unless you do that, the circle won't be complete. And whatever we do, whatever we get, we should do it with the attitude of gratitude. That's all.
Yeah. Chalo, that's it. Everybody has spoken today. So Swamiji says that, this whole cosmic wheel also has the same. Now there was another set of verses coming, which is talking about the very cosmic wheel, which keeps on going because of due to karma. Karma is the basis. And therefore, karma has to be done. So, Swamiji says the great cosmic wheel is constantly turning, and because you are a doer, one who enjoys the free will, you are a cog in it. You can do and you need not do it. So, a tree does whatever it has to do because that is how a tree is made. An animal also does exactly what is expected of it because it is made to do so. In this way, all non-human living beings do what they do because they are programmed in a certain way. However, the human being is one whose action is performed by will. Why I read this portion? This is very important to understand. See, everything else in the creation is programmed. It is only who is acting according to the will is a human being. So then karma is, what is the basic thing which you have to understand about karma? Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. Swami used to say this a lot. So karma has, you can perform it, you need not perform it, or you can perform it differently. It is not only one way. So many other ways are there. What is supposed to be done, you are not doing in that manner. You do it differently. So therefore, when there is a choice in action, the whole thing falls at how to really maintain this cosmic wheel, because this cosmic wheel is dependent upon karma. And everybody is not playing their part. Then what will happen? And that is what now he shows how the really first two verses, he shows how the even the cosmic wheel, even the Srishti, how it goes. So I'll chant the verses. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati parjanyaha yajna karma samudbhavaha. है ना? So Annad bhavanti bhutani. The bhutani, the living beings, annad bhavanti. Annad means food. Food means bhuktat annad. Shankaracharya ji writes the food which is eaten and then it gets transformed into blood and semen. You know? And that is what is said here. That annam, because of that what is eaten food, that becomes bhutani. Bhutani, living beings, from food bhavanti, are born. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha, and from rain, without the rain how the food will be? Food cannot be there. Anna sambhava, food is born. Parjanya, and rain happens because of yajna. Here yajna is punya. Swamiji writes later on that yajna is karma, but here it is yajna is punya. Because of punya, rain will happen. And yajna punya karma samudbhava. Is punya is born of what? Born of action. So if you are not performing your part, you are not playing your part, then this srishti is at this thing. All will keep happening. But when you are not following the order, who will be rubbed? You will be rubbed. Swamiji used to give an example, there's a tamarind tree. Tamarind tree bark is so hard, sukha pura ka pura. And he says, you just take off your shirt, you just rub against the tamarind tree. Who will be rubbed in the process? Nothing will happen to the tamarind tree. Your back will be rubbed so much that you will not be able to wear your shirt for a week. That means if you rub against the order, nothing will happen to the order. You will be rubbed. That is what it is. So if you don't do your thing, if you don't follow the order, if you don't fall in the order, you don't play your part, you are not grateful, you are not even recognizing, you are not grateful, then what? That is what it is. So this whole process continues. We will continue the second verse also, and then we will see both the verses together. And then karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahmakshara samudbhavam. Tasma sarvagatam brahma. Nityam yagye pratishtitam. So, this karma, brahmodbhavam vidhi, is born of Veda. Karma rituals are all Shauta karma, Smarta karma. Either Shruti is prescribing the karma or Smriti is prescribing the karma. The Shauta karma, Smarta karma, they are all the rituals are specified in the Vedas. They are born of Brahma. Brahma here means Veda. One dictionary meaning in the Brahma is Veda. And that is why whenever, Brahmachari, Brahmani Vede Charitum Sheelam Asya Asti. The one who is able to follow the conduct prescribed in the Vedas, that person is called a Brahmachari. Brahmani Vede Charitum Sheelam Asya Asti. The one who is able to follow the conduct prescribed in the Vedas. Brahma is the Veda. That is called as a Brahmachari. So therefore Brahma means Veda. Brahmodbhavam, born of the Veda. What is born of the Veda? Karma. Huh? Karma Brahmodbhavam. Brahmodbhavam. And Brahma, the Veda, Akshara Samudbhavam. Where the Veda has come from? Akshara Samudbhavam. Brahma itself, the Veda has come from imperishable Brahman. Akshara Samudbhavam. Imperishable Ishvara. So Ishvara and Brahma are one and the same thing. People confuse sometimes. Swamiji, what is Brahman? What is Ishvara? Brahman is manifested aspect of total aspect as Ishvara. Ishvara is the cause of this whole universe with the Maya Upadhi. Brahma with Maya Upadhi is called Ishvara. And that imperishable Akshara is this Brahma is born. Brahma is Veda is born. Veda is the Shwas of Ishvara. It is the breath of Ishvara. What is Veda? And what is there in the Veda? All the four Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. In the introductory classes, if you remember, I had told all the Purusharthas, the first three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama is the first portion, Karma Kanda of the Vedas, Karma. And Moksha Purushartha is the Jnana Kanda of the Vedanta. And therefore, there are two different subject matters. Therefore, Veda is divided into two portions, Veda and Vedanta. Veda Purva, Veda Anta. Veda Purva and Veda Anta. Veda Purva is Karma Kanda because it is prescribing you the sadhana for the different sadhyas to be gained. But Vedanta is talking about the Siddha Vastu, you. What is the nature of you? Who are you? And that is what Vedanta is talking about, Moksha Purushartha, how that moksha is already Siddha Vastu. It is not to be gained in time and place. It is you yourself already. And therefore, these four Purusharthas are given away by these four Purusharthas are, everything is prescribed. Therefore, Veda is Tasma Sarvagatam Brahma. And therefore, may you understand, therefore, Sarvagatam, it is all pervasive. It is dealing with everything. Veda. It is all pervasive due to this reason that it is dealing with all the four Purusharthas, all the four human efforts. And therefore, it is all pervasive. Nityam Yagye Pratishtitam. And it abides always in Yagya. Huh? So these two verses, last line we will explain later because first you explain the whole thing, that whosoever studied these two verses together. Rajiv, you start.
Swamiji, verse 14, here Bhagavan talks about the cosmic wheel, and it says that everything is born of the food. The bhutas are born of the food basically means that when we eat food and it gets assimilated, it forms the different components of life, and through which the human is born. And he says that then the food itself is born of the rains, and rains basically these are basically blessings which are there because of the yajna that bhutas do. And Swamiji, it's basically when we say that you perform yajnas and yajnas will cause you rain, it basically again what we talked about the cosmic ecology only, that you propitiate the devas and devas will give you rain. You make them happy and they'll give you the booty in terms of the rain, because we are talking about the food, so the rains become important, Swamiji. And it's basically another way of saying that you invoke the forces and the forces bless you. The rains come at the right time, at the right place, at the right amounts if you do that. Otherwise, they may become erratic. And uh, basically, and the unseen results, Adrishtphala, that is created by yajna, and these intangible results are produced by the karma. So your karma produces, yajna produces rains, rain produces food, and food produces bhutas. And so, Swamiji, we are thus, this is basically a cosmic cycle. That food is, man is born of the food is born of the rain, and rain is the product of the yajna. And yajna is done by the bhutas. And this cosmic cycle, if someone doesn't propitiate devas, then he is not acting in this cosmic wheel. So each person's uh, role becomes important in this cosmic cycle, Swamiji. And then Swamiji, he says that then you must understand that from where the Vedas have come. Veda is the body of knowledge that has come from the breath of Ishvara. Because Swamiji writes that this is a knowledge, and knowledge cannot be created. No, it's not a product of someone's intellect. It has
Knowledge
always
cannot be
been there.
created is a very important point to be understood. How knowledge cannot be created? What is the example? Did
Swamiji,
Newton create the law of gravitation? So only Newton discovered. All knowledge is already there. So knowledge cannot be created. It is already there. Yes, yes, Rajiv,
and
continue.
from gravity to the modern Bohr's atomic theory to Einstein's theory of relativity, everything existed. Basically, we all end up scraping the ignorance, because
Ah,
ignorance is also neither created, but it can be destroyed. Knowledge cannot be created. It's Adi and is Ananta. But ignorance is also has
Anadi.
Adi.
Knowledge is
Adi,
Anadi.
uh, uh, Anadi, Ananta. Whereas ignorance is Anadi, but it has an end. So
And
basically, um, when we see in terms of Aparavidya, uh, you cannot gain the complete knowledge, because there's layers within the layers, and it keeps on branching. But in Paravidya, which is basically yourself, it's a very definite knowledge, because it has no branches. So once the ignorance is gone, you can know yourself, and this is a definite knowledge possible. This is what is called a direct knowledge, or aproksha anubhuti. This is what is called as a aproksha anubhuti. So Swamiji says that basically this is another cycle. Basically, the Vedas come through Ishwaras, and they contain a knowledge of yajnas, and yajnas, humans do yajnas, and then these yajnas also are Brahma only, because they come from the the imperishable Brahma. So everything is basically interrelated. It's a cycle within a cycle, Swamiji. And है तो स्वामी जी बहुत बड़ा है. That's
what?
all
It's
that's
okay.
all
It
I.
doesn't matter. Everything need not be, because people have studied. Sharda
Yes.
can take over now. Then Riya can take over. Then Vandana can take over. You are mute,
Oh,
Sharda.
I thought Rajiv was continuing.
नहीं, it's okay. बड़ा है ना बहुत, तो some people can share what Rajiv has said. Others also can speak. Now I am preparing all of you to be teachers tomorrow. That is the best way of teaching, to learn is the best way when you start teaching.
As you said, we are Brahma itself is the Veda. So when you say Brahma is born of the imperishable, it never dies, it is never born. So Veda basically reveals everything that a person requires at all.
Sarva Artha Prakashakatva. That is what
Sarva,
Shankaracharya writes.
yes. So that is the
Yeah.
Vedas.
That is why it is said Sarvagatam. Because
So
it
where
is
is knowledge? How does it originate? Like Rajiv said, now knowledge cannot be created. Knowledge always was there, and it is an anadi, ananta. Because it's quite clear that if you say knowledge is created, then what can the basis of that creation be? It would mean ignorance. Ignorance cannot create knowledge. So therefore, knowledge always exists, and it's ignorance that gets destroyed by knowledge. So Ishvara by itself means all knowledge, and the only way you can completely eradicate ignorance is when you reach the self or understand the Atma. And until you have that ignorance with you, you are a samsari. So the Veda is what works as a Shabda Pramana. We have already discussed it. Rajiv also said Paroksha Jnanam, which is basically an indirect knowledge, or an Aparaksha Jnanam. So if you have Shraddha, the Pramana produces either a Paroksha or an Aparoksha. Now here, for us, our Pramana is the Shastra itself. So therefore, it is an Aparoksh or a direct Jnanam. You will have to...
here I would interfere with a little bit because this is a very, very important point you
Yes,
have
yes.
taken up. You see, there is a how Vedanta produces direct knowledge. Every knowledge is indirect, so to say. But
Yes.
how Aparoksha Jnanam is produces, because Swamiji used to say, see, everything in the world you have to verify later on. Paroksha Jnanam, everything, like you have to go to Kashmir, and therefore somebody tells you about Kashmir, and then you go and verify, oh, this is what you go according to what are the points you have created a tour according to the advisor of the tour. And then you go there. But here, this thing, you yourself, what Vedanta is speaking is, you are not away in time or place. It is you yourself. And that is why somebody is talking about you, the knowledge is immediate, here and now. It cannot be later in the time. Because now you are understanding Vedanta, then you will sit in meditation, and then blue light will happen in the mind and something will happen. Not like that. Meditation is very necessary for preparation for focusing the mind, but knowledge of the 10th man, how it happens? You are the 10th man when he is told. What
Directly.
happens? It is direct, immediate knowledge or not. He
Absolutely.
already knew I am. But I am that very 10th man which I am seeking, which I am searching. That special knowledge was missing. And therefore, immediate knowledge happens. And therefore, that aparoksha jnanam, because Vedanta is the Shabda Pramana, which is talking about you. Then why does not, when I hear Vedanta, knowledge takes place? Because of your samskaras, because of your impressions, because of your antakarana shuddhi has not happened. Those are all the reasons for which you are not the real adhikari right now. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shatka, Sampatti, Mukshutvam. These qualifications you don't have. And that is why the knowledge, when it is unfolded, when the means of knowledge, instrument of knowledge, when Shabda Pramana is unfolded, the Shabda Pramana is in the form of words. And words are communicated by a teacher through by a methodology through which a teacher is going to unfold, and that student is also in tune with the teacher so as to grasp each and every word in its implied meaning, and then he sees the truth as it is revealed. That is how this whole body of knowledge works. This is how it is institute of knowledge works. And therefore it is a direct knowledge, aparoksha gyan. Yes, continue, sir. Or you are done, then Ria can take over. Ria, you are mute.
It has to just suddenly hit you as you do years of or your long time of sadhana, and you have an antakarna shuddhi, and you're reading the shastras, you're doing shravana manana nididhyasana, it will suddenly directly reach you knowledge, and you will know who you are. That is very different from any other way of knowledge, because every other knowledge is indirect, because it is either it has to be kind of you have to either produce a proof, or you have to produce a picture, or you've got to, like Swamiji said, if I tell you that this is very sweet, if you eat it, unless you eat it yourself and check it, you can't directly know it is sweet. Whereas in a Veda, in this knowledge, you can directly know. And because it it is born of Ishvara, it belongs to the whole of humanity. uh, it abides in the yajnas you do. So yajna is not just the physical performance of ritual, but the ritual with the correct attitude of gratitude and everything else. Then obviously the Veda, which has come out of Brahman, is called the Veda, or called Brahma also. Then from the Veda comes out your yajna. Then the yajna brings out rain. Rain comes food, and then you eat the food, and then you are born of that food. So basically, this is how the whole cycle is completed. It's the cosmic wheel, as they call it. So as this cycle gets completed, you realize how you and Ishvara and all are in that same ecology and one and the same. So
What
that's
is
where we are.
Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam? Last quarter. Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam.
Abiding always in yajna. So basically, you've got to be permanently everything that what we were talking about earlier. Every action you do should be done like a yajna. From as a mother, you're raising a child, to as a if you're eating your food, you're going to your office, you're performing a surgery, you're delivering a speech, whatever you're doing, all activities that you conduct should be done even when you before you go to sleep. Each activity, if it is conducted like a yajna with this attitude, you are in a nitya state, nityam yajne pratishtitam state, and that state is where you will eventually knowledge will dawn upon you. So that is what it means as far as I can understand.
Yeah, Ria. Whatever you want on these two verses, then we go to the next later.
Yeah, I try to keep it very short. So these two verses talk about the chakras, as in we are born out of food, and that food is born out of rain, and further that rain is born out of the yagna that we do, which is the result of the adrishta phala. And then the adrishta phala is because of the karma we do, and these karmas, like what is to be done and what is not to be done, comes out of Veda, which is Brahma. And this Brahma comes out of Brahman, which is the imperishable Lord, which is the Ishvara. And this knowledge, this Veda it doesn't have any foundation or doesn't have any boundary. Like every knowledge, it always existed. Like gravity, it always existed. We only reveal everything that always exists. We just reveal that, okay, gravitation force is there, this force is there. It's just the revelation that we are doing. Knowledge has always been existed. It is the fact. It is the fact. So this Veda is the fact, and it cannot be further negated or speculated, because it is the knowledge of I. It is self-evident. We all know that we are the consciousness, and it is just the ignorance that we are not understanding it. So this knowledge is very self-evident, and it cannot be speculated or scrapped further. And in the last sentences, it is said that like since this knowledge, this Veda, it is the manifestation and it is the material and efficient cause of Brahman. So it is
That is the
equivalent
good
to
point. Yeah.
so it is equivalent to Brahman as well. So if you are following and if you are in tune with what is said in Brahma, in the Veda, in the Brahma, what is to be done, what is not to be done. And if you're following the yajna, is actually in tune with the Ishvara, with the Lord, because this Veda, this Vedanta is itself Ishvara, because it is the efficient and the material cause of him.
Very good. That's it. So anybody wants to add? I think everything is said. We will go to the next verse. Who have not spoken, they can speak on the next verse. है ना? एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अगायुरिन्द्रिया रामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति. So therefore now he speaks about the person who is not following the Veda. Already she has written one line. Yaha, Sharda in her book does not follow the Veda. Everybody can see that because I have those notes in my. So, evam pravartitan chakram. So, O Partha, O Arjuna, yah the one who, iha in this life, in this world, in this evam pravartitam, evam, this chakram, the cosmic wheel, which is already set in motion, in this manner it is set in this motion, na nuvartayati, does not follow. What happens when he does not follow? What happens? Aghayuhu, one who lives in sin. Agha is sin. Agha ayu, the one whose life is all in sin. Aghayuhu. Why? Indriya Rama. Indriya Rama. Indriya Rama, one who is only given to sensuary pleasures. Nothing else comes to mind. Majja majja. Swamiji used to use this word very much, and I just picked up from him. Majja majja, I used to say. Majja majja. That's all. Sensuary pleasure, majja majja. But that's all what he knows. Indriya Ramaha. That person, saha, mogham, wastefully, jivati, lives. He lives mogham. Mogham is just useless. Mogham, wasteful. Whole life is wasted. Nothing is gained. Because why this life has been given? Why you are endowed with such a faculty called buddhi? So as to discriminate. So as to make use of. Don't think, oh, this is not my destiny. Destiny, for future destiny is created by your karma and today. If everything is prarabdha, moksha can never be gained. Because everything is destined. You will say everything is destined. You can murder, you can rape, you can do this, you can do that. Everything, I did not do it. It is I'm destined to do it. Is that the right logic? So therefore, today's karma will determine your future. Definitely some boundaries are there. Today somebody telephoned me, Swamiji, you are one example always I gave to people. I said, which one? He said, you explained free will and destiny very well. I said, I did not explain. Ramakrishna used to say that एक खूटे से गाय बंधी है, तो खूटे से जो गाय बंधी है उसकी रस्सी कितनी लंबी है? How much is the length of the rope? That much is your free will, but that much is you are within that rope. You can find the maximum to the potential by going to the extreme end till the rope can take you. Other than that, within that you have a free will. Up to that, it is all destiny. But you have to find still your own full potential by karma. Isn't it? That is what karma is. And otherwise you will not be able to know your potential. Aghayurindriya Rama Mogham Partha Sajivati. He is just uselessly wasting his life and not following, this the thing which is already set in motion. this cosmic wheel, evam pravartitam chakram, nanuvartayati yah, na anuvartayati, does not follow. Yah, the one who does not follow. Yes, Vandana.
Um, as we have already discussed, the person who does not does his duties, whatever he has to do, he's disturbing the order. And as Gita says, this life is wasted because of our karmas, we create punya and papa. Punya leads to moksha. Ultimately, with after antakaran shuddhi, it leads to moksha. But whereas for this person who is not doing his duties, not performing his duties as per the Vedas, he is just wasting his life because ultimately uh, he's just wasting his life because there will be no punya. He will be
See, the
going down.
purpose of life
Adhogati
is not found
is
because the purpose of life, why the life has been given is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi only, Purushartha Nishcha. That is why it was said Siddhim, na Siddhim avapnoti. That was said na previously. That he will not gain the
yes,
Siddhi. I think 16th
yeah,
chapter it was said. I think hai na Siddhi.
yeah, yeah, yes,
So,
Swamiji.
so that Purushartha Nishcha is not happening.
Not happening. So for him, the life is gone because with this life only, we create our other life, whether it will be whether we will be free from this chakra or we'll start again. So that's how he's just wasting his life by not having this website Atmika Buddhi.
Yeah, Gautam ji.
Swamiji, the whole universe, this operates with the mutual attraction. Whether we look at the sun or this moon or so many planetary system, that is having some sort of mutual attraction at the macro level. If we think of the micro level also, there is a nucleus where proton and neutron are there, and electrons are moving in a particular way. There also gravitational force play into role. So here this cosmic cycle, we all have to play a certain role in cosmic cycle according to the Vedas or according to the do's and don'ts of the Vedas. If we are not following that do's and don'ts not of the Vedas, definitely that some sort of disturbances will be there in the this cosmic cycle. That's why we have to start the ecology from ourselves only, from as an individual.
Yeah, it is
Unless
going very well with what we studied in the 16th chapter. It is going so well, the matching, as if the whole thing is matching where
yeah,
what you
and
have
we are the
connected is also very nice. Yes.
and we are the cog in the wheel. Means if we all have certain roles to play in the society, also our philosophy has to be live and let live. There has
Yes.
to be a mutual means give and take.
Yes. Very nice. Anybody else? Rajiv?
Swamiji, as Swamiji writes that the whole of this ecology begins with the self only. You must count yourself first before you consider others. And this chakra can work very, very well when you do your duty. And because it's just possible when you think about others that they will do their duties, or in a room where there are 10 people sitting and that everyone is supposed to think, no one thinks because the other one thinks that he is thinking. So the whole effort gets wasted. So in the same way, if you are not doing your duty as per the, in this chakra, not performing your duty in this chakra, not propitiating devas, then you are living a sinful life. And then I gave an example of there's a chakra, that there's a dharma chakra and there's a dharma chakra. If you are not part of the dharma chakra, then you are a cog in the wheel of the dharma chakra. And if you are a part of the cycle of this chakra, dharma chakra, then you perpetuate life all the time and undergo the samsara. But if you're part of the dharma chakra, then there's a possibility that you will you will get the ultimate freedom or freedom from all limitations if you continue in that way. So that's why playing your role at any point in time which is assigned to you is important.
Therefore, the finding the roles is very important point, that how will you assess and ascertain properly this is what I am supposed to do at this given point of time. It's a very big question, because always you think, you have some certain values and attitude towards your life. This is important for me, this is important. That is why Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami. That Ritam is universal truth. That which is universally true only has to be your value also. If that is not matching, that is why if it is said Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami, that Satyam has to be in keeping with Ritam. It is not that you think this is what it is. Universally, it should be right. It should be in matching, in line with universal truth. And that is why universal truth, how will you assess? Sometimes you will go, you will not know, you will be confused. So therefore they used to say that you go to people, Taittiriya Upanishad speaks, you should go to elders who know, or you trust, or you go to your teacher, or you go to the scriptures. Scriptures also have to be interpreted, so therefore you have to go ultimately to the teachers who know the scriptures about this thing, wherein you can ascertain. And ultimately this is very, these circles. How much time? Okay, we are almost done time. So circles of body, mind, sense complex, family, society. So really in all the circle, the highest circle is Ishvara. My relationship as a basic person with the Ishvara, devotee. So Atma Dharma. So in all the circles, that is the most. So therefore, it is not that at the cost of this, being a devotee, I gave up all other roles. Karma Yoga teaches you how to be a devotee in and through all the roles. That is the first and foremost, being a devotee. Then you can be a devotee businessman, devotee king, devotee father, devotee husband, devotee citizen, devotee, everything devotee. Because that is your primary relationship, that is your primary identity. That is what is to be understood. And therefore, the dharma, so, we say the dharma is always varna and ashrama. According to varna, according to ashrama. But here it is all mixed up is happening in this today's society. So therefore, you have to assess yourself. What is my dharma in the given situation? What I am supposed to do. What are the things to really streamline myself into the conduct which is prescribed by the Vedas, which is prescribed by the Gita. How to live my life. That's it. What else? Anybody wants to add?
Swamiji, the problem that I see when I talk to people is that they think that everything has to have a personal perspective only. They think that all rules are also personal perspective, and either the teachings of Gita are also personal. There's some kind of a personal perspective. Forgetting that Ritam and Satyam should match. They don't understand this. This is a problem that I see in youngsters. So Satyam, as you say, Ritam Vadeshami and Satyam
Padisham.
Vadeshami. So they don't realize that, and they think that it's their common sense or whatever value system they drive, that is the final thing, and the life is an individual compartment. So when you think that life is an individual and it's a compartmentalized, then you are not considering yourself to be a part of the cog in the wheel of this chakra. Then you are not part of the chakra only. So this independent thinking or individualized thinking is the problem which makes you go out of this chakra
That is
and
why
actually
Shastra,
pass away
16th
to
chapter,
God.
Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te. So beautifully it is said. It is very, very powerful statement by Gita. The Tasmat Shastram Pramanam.
Yeah.
That's a means of knowledge, instrument of knowledge, wherein you cannot ascertain what is to be done, what is Karya Vyavasthitav. Very clearly said what is to be done, what is not to be done. Shastra is the pramana. You cannot have your own value system. That's why I said I wrote somewhere, it is the seren. Somewhere I got this article about the meat eating, wherein the whole thing was meat eating was so many quotations. I was surprised that I was not knowing there was so many quotations after quotations of Shastras, why one should not be given to meat eating. Then if you don't follow, then you can have joke, "Okay, I feel like this way." It is not based on, or it is my familial value, it is my cultural value. We are falling for ages. So somewhere down the line, you have to put your foot down and see for yourself what is the decision we have to make now, given the circumstances such. That is what Buddhi is given only for that. It is not that somebody is following for ages something wrong values, then you keep on following. Is it okay? So then we end the class here.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to make any comment on what I said? Because
Swamiji, can I say something?
yes,
Actually, when one is at peace, then you get your own mind will tell you, your own conscience will tell you what is to be done.
but sometimes we get confused. That is what conscience has to be. Definitely, conscience is telling, but somehow down the line, we don't hear our own inner voice.
We justify whatever we.
Yeah, we justify because of there are equally ragadveshas, equally samskaras, whether it is coming from family or whether it is from my own desire or whatever. You see? Okay, then we meet next Tuesday and Thursday, 28th and 30th. So Sharda is going to post tomorrow, both the portions. So first we end the class and discuss then what portion. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम थैंक यू ऑल